that shit. He's holding his line.
So your whole problem is
breaking my wrist.
No, I don't think that matters. You don't load your rod.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing. You got to load that rod. Like I can get mine to flip out there.
Yeah.
And it's all about loading that rod. But it's about a smooth motion. Like I'm jerky, and at the end I give it a.
Yeah.
That's my problem. But see, like that, like.
I just want to learn how to fish in tight. I mean, they're tight cover. That's like not tight cover. Like tight cover is like the shit that we have to fish in, you know.
Well, and even with like, bass fishing, tight cover's still a problem.
Yeah.
But like with fly fishing, it's
even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who have now officially hit play and are listening to the Stormwater Creek podcast, we are at Casa de Molman on a Thursday night after an adventure of fly fishing some flooded creeks and going to some brand new urban spots that we've never been before with the fly rods. And we were watching some like spay casting, some roll casting, some snake, double snake, single snake casting tips on YouTube. And so we were just discussing the merits of trying to cast a fly rod in like tight, real tight cover, you know? I think the other thing he's doing is he's holding that line, and I don't think I was doing that quite the best. And having enough line out.
Yeah.
I mean, can you not... See, like, there's no way I could do that. Like... I don't know. How much room do you have to have? You know?
That's the whole point.
What if I'm in such a tight window?
And tonight I got hung up in the tree twice. Because I got.
Did you get out the second time?
Yeah, and I always get so overconfident. Like when I'm fly fishing, like I'll be watching my back cast, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna give it one last little
zing,
get it out there. Like I strip a little more line out and start to go, and then like that's when I get caught in the back because I'm more paid attention to, like, I want to get out there. I want it. I have a spot picked out, and I'm just staring at that one spot, and that's when I get that back cast just hung up on something, or I'm not paying attention to my cast, and like then I watch stuff like this, and it just makes me feel awful.
Dude, these guys are so good. I mean, I guess that would work if you've got enough cover, if you've got enough open space above you. Like where we were at, this would work fine, right? Because it was kind of open. We were in an open, but what if you're along trees, you know? What if you're fishing a creek bed, a creek that's got trees right there next to you? I mean, what are your options?
That one that dude did where you, I've seen bass fishermen do it.
Oh, like the frisbee?
Where you like basically you're flipping and pitching, but with a fly rod.
With a fly rod, yeah.
And what'd you call that one? What's that one you called the bow and arrow or?
Yeah, so the bow and arrow, that one I want to work on. What was the other one? That Sean. So I've got a new blog entry coming out soon about creek fishing.
Well, like that's what we really
bow
need
and arrow
to,
cast and single-handed spay cast is what he was talking about. But there was also like a frisbee cast or something that was kind of like a, like you're hunking a frisbee.
So
you got the rod more horizontal, I think. I don't know.
I'm just gonna have to like dig deep into it. Like we're kind of. I've gotten more support in the fly fishing world when I started talking to people about like, yeah, I want to do this, like Sean's like, oh yeah, man, I'll show you. Like, I need to get with someone. I need to get with him or Kakoa and
Chris
and just be like, someone watch me and show me what I'm doing wrong. Because I know I'm doing wrong stuff.
Oh yeah, there's
no doubt
bad habits. But if you think about from where we started at, kind of like I guess last year was really when we kind of got into the fly fishing aspect of it. Maybe a year and a half ago.
Yeah, we tried really hard not to.
Yeah, Grinch is the only holdout. I am like, after tonight, I'm like almost halfway committed to like not, just not using a conventional rod this entire year.
Well, it's like, so I've talked to a bunch of people about like the bow hunting aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like where you talk to somebody and they're like, yeah, I bow hunt, but I've never shot anything with my bow. And then you start talking to them, you find out like they go out bow hunting the first couple weeks of bow season. Then they have prior engagements or whatever, or they don't go out every weekend and they don't really hit it that hard, or they're not like really trying. And then like as soon as rifle season comes up, they grab the rifle.
Yeah,
and that's their fail safe, and they shoot one with the rifle, and they're like, all right, I got my deer, and they don't go back out with their bow. And it's one of those things. It's like, I don't have anything against traditional tackle, our conventional tackle. I love it. Like that's the way I fish all the time. But
yeah,
I'm in that mindset of like you're talking about, where it's,
I need to like
don't grab it because like I know how to use that.
Yeah,
I throw Texas rig, all day long. Pull up striper with my bait caster. I love my bait caster, but I'm always going to go to that whenever I'm like, well, I haven't caught anything with my fly rod yet.
Yep. I mean, that's what
it's never going to happen, and I'm not going to get good at it because like I'm like, well, I got hung up in a tree, and I don't want to take it down to the creek. Like I really thought in the back of my head, I was like, I'm not even going to take my fly rod.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I was like,
brought it all this way.
No, I'm going to use this thing, and I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
And they were there. Like we would have been fine. We would have got something. And that's the other thing that was weird to me is casting in the dark.
Yeah, we were.
I've casted in the dark with my bait caster and my spinning rods.
Doesn't matter.
No big deal.
Doesn't matter at all.
But for some weird reason, like it got a little dark.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I can't do this.
Well, I think I just rely so much on,
sight.
Yeah, just like where it went, because I don't know where things are going. Where when I've got that bait caster or that spinning rod, I know how to. I know where it's going to go when I kind of go, okay, I'm going that way, boom, and I know pretty much that it's gonna go straight out there. So, but I tell you, man, I think I'm gonna cross the bridge and turn around and burn it and just not do. I'm just gonna go fly rod all the way this year. At least I'm gonna commit to doing fly rod 90% of the time. I've got my crappie jigs that I'm gonna use with the fly rod. And then I'm just gonna, we've been tying up. You tied up a pretty awesome little carp fly tonight for me, while we were waiting on some tacos to get delivered to the house. This thing's awesome, dude.
Have you used anything that you got from Ascent yet?
I have not used anything from Ascent yet. No, I have.
Because that was a pretty sweet little. I like that fly box,
dude. It's a badass little fly box. I've got that, and my fly box game is on point between Ascent and Tailwaters. These fly boxes are the shit. I like these. So, but I've got, like I said, I've got a couple different carp flies here that are tied up that I really like, and we found a new spot, and I can't wait to take the creek out and go up that channel that we found today. I think it'll be awesome.
Yeah, and the other thing that for tonight's adventure that really got to us was we're in a spot. You know, here in Texas, it's rained so much lately,
Oh my God.
and
We must have gotten 4 or 5 inches, at least 4 inches of rain.
that little creek looks like a damn river.
It was raging.
And the spot we were at, we could wade in pretty far, but not far enough because it was super shallow most of the way, and there wasn't a lot of vegetation where we were standing.
Yeah.
But just out of our reach was where they were at. I mean, we could see carp rolling.
Yep.
We could see topwater being hit.
Yep.
A little bit further out in the normal creek.
Yeah.
And you could see that creek bed. And normally in this situation, like we saw we had a gar like roll right by us.
Between us.
Yeah.
In between us. It was crazy.
We weren't, like, not even 10 feet apart, and he just
that was the thing with, like,
rolled through.
Not, like, especially with the dark. Like, I saw him come at, we heard him back up in the kind of the woods, because, I mean, it's flooded way in there, and so when we, I heard him, and then I kind of saw him, I saw his fins coming out. I thought he was a carp at first, and didn't really know he was a gar until he got kind of close to us, and we saw his nose. And but that was the other thing about the dark, is I didn't have the ability to, I didn't know where my fly was. I was trying to collect everything and get it up in a fashion that was quick enough, and I just couldn't move quick enough to kind of try to drop it in front of his face. He was less than the length of the rod from me,
yeah.
It was trying to kind of get everything back up into, to try to get it in front of him where I could maybe snag him, and just, nope, But they're there, and, I mean, I had such a good adventure on Monday, kind of farther up that creek with the white bass and the shad, because that casting net I've been having a lot of fun with, man. I used to go buy the minnows. The casting net's been a lot of fun to play around with, and catch shad that way. But since I'm going to the fly rod, I think I'm just going to go fly rod.
I don't think it's a bad idea. I really don't.
At least for a couple weeks, No,
you need to do it longer than that.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying strictly fly rod, just like no conventional tackle for at least, 60 days. And just focus hardcore on that, because I'm fishing at least once a week, and I'm trying to get out twice a week, And so, if I can do that for 60 days and get into the creeks and figure out how to get hung up and unhung, and I think the biggest thing is just the casting aspect of it. I mean, you see these guys in these videos on YouTube on casting, and they're these just great, beautiful western rivers, and we just don't have that here. It's
even when he's trying to do a bad cast, it's still
awesome.
Not that great.
I mean, he's got like 30 feet of line out past the end of this 8 or 9 foot rod, and is still like just whipping it around, and it acts. I mean, that's the thing, right? That's how we know we're not doing something. We're just missing a little bit, right? It's that rod placement, because I think that's what he's kind of talking about, is where your rod's at, how your rod's moving, the direction your hand moves. All of those things matter so much. It's just such the integral details of things matter so much more with a fly rod than they do with a conventional rod. I do like the fact that it looks like, maybe that's small bass, smallmouth he's got on his shirt, but we're watching a lot of In the Riffle. We're big fans of them on YouTube. In the Riffle, they got that Rio line, which I'm pretty sure you can get at Tailwaters. So I need to go put some new line on my 8-weight. I was using a 5-weight tonight. You were using the 8-weight. You had the big rod out. And so, oh yeah, did I just open a beer?
Yeah, I'm watching. I got really quiet because I'm super impressed with.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah, the look on your face. Took that picture, and you're super excited about that. You just opened a beer. with your fly tying scissors.
Exactly.
Things are definitely that's what we do here.
We drink beer and tie flies.
We drink beer, tie flies, and do badass stuff.
Yeah, right now we're having a Russian Imperial Stout from Clown Shoes called Duck Lord, which has our co-host
Oh, did you
Austin
bust
on
out
it.
Duck Lord?
Yeah.
I have not had Duck Lord yet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's some sody pop beer right there. Here. Oh yeah, if you weren't full enough, you're about to get topped off. This is a thick beer. This is a man beer.
Cheers.
Cheers, Blitzen. Clown Shoes beer out of a legal draft pint glass. Or like can glass.
I like these glasses. But yeah, so I like my bait caster, which I've probably said 100 times already, and I love my fly rod because I'm a caster.
Yeah.
I like to cast.
Yeah.
That's the kind of fishing I like to do. I like to cast it out, retrieve it, and cast again. Like, that's the fishing I do. Like,
yeah.
Got nothing against bobber fishing, but you made fun of me for a long time because you were pulling in fish with minnows and bobbers and stuff while I was doing nothing. But
I get it, man. I get the ADD with it too. That's my thing is like I like catching fish more than so I let the ADD run. So that's why I'm like thinking, I can do the you throw a minnow and get the bobber out there and you just let it sit, and then you get the fly rod out and you start messing with the fly rod and then if you get a fish you can switch over. But
that a surgeon's knot?
I guess. I don't know what he's tying. He's tying his leader on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a surgeon's knot. That's the other thing. I gotta get above.
Brush up on
my
the
knots. Yeah.
I use one knot.
Palomar.
I don't even know what it's actually called.
How do you tie it? Just a bunch of overhand loops. No,
so I do a go through the eye, then go through the eye again and make a circle.
Yeah.
And then I twist 8 times, then through the double circle, and then back through the loop that you just made, coming back through and cinch it down. I was showed that a long time ago. I'm pretty sure someone's gonna make fun of me for not knowing the name of the knot, but that is the knot I've tied. I'm pretty sure my grandfather taught me to tie that knot.
Yeah.
And that's the only knot I use.
It works fine, huh?
And I've never had a problem with it. I've had a problem when I was
let's see what he does here.
A little wrapped around his
finger like 4 or 5 times, and then created a loop. The tag end, takes the tag end, sticks it through the loop he just tied.
Wets it, and it's done.
And then he pulled it tight.
Yeah, I've seen that knot before.
That's not a bad one.
I like how you just like, it's not a bad one. Like you agree with his choice. Like
it's not a bad one.
Like this dude doesn't know what the hell he's doing. This guy
exactly.
This guy that works for Rio Fly
I don't know
Line.
if this is Rio. I think this is somebody else.
Oh, is it someone else? I thought we were on a playlist for them. Anywho.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm thinking super hard about going after work tomorrow back out there, and taking the creek and trying to move up there because that water should come down a little bit more. Plus, there's probably not that bad of current, and it's not that far. I'll have a boat ride in for me, so see if I can't get some, gets a a gar or some sand bass, or maybe there's some spawning bass in there.
You just should be able to hook up to something pretty easy.
So that frog, there's a ton of frogs back there, so I'm sure that frog would work.
There's one in a tree.
Yeah. I'll go back there and get that one. I may take my waders and just tie the boat up too and get out there, and I don't know how deep it is out there actually, but
it didn't get too deep. I got all the way into my
your thigh,
mid thigh.
Yeah,
maybe.
I saw watching you walk over there, and you were like, "Oh, took a step off somewhere."
Well, where we were at, it was on a road, and there was definitely some mud ruts that a vehicle drove through, and it turns right there.
Yeah, it just turns.
And I was already kind of a little above my knees in the depth, and then walked just a little bit more, and it just kind of slid off.
Yeah.
But the water's feeling great already this time of year. It felt fantastic. I'm definitely one good thing about fishing, especially fly fishing in Texas, is there's no waders needed.
No. I mean, I could have used a pair of waders today instead of rubber boots because I didn't want to get the inside of my boots wet. You know?
That's why you just wear this little...
You had the right idea. Absolutely had the right idea. You know? With
the new little fishing shoes, like the water, I guess you'd call them water shoes.
Yeah.
But with the drains in the bottom of them and everything, they're legit nowadays. They're a little expensive.
But to get that kind of a good sole on them where you could walk, I mean, we walked maybe a mile? I don't know.
I'd say a mile in the mud.
In the mud?
The only problem was like we were walking back into the woods, and I'm wearing shorts and...
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, they look like boat shoes, I guess is the best way to call them.
They're kind of like meshy boat shoes is what I would say is the best way to... I
don't feel cool wearing them, that's for sure.
But
not that matters anymore for me.
Yeah, but they were functional. That's the benefit.
That's where I've become... My wife makes fun of me all the time because I've moved to, like... not caring what I look like.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is functional.
This is the best functional thing ever.
I wear fishing shorts that are a little shorter than I
you
ever thought I'd ever would wear. But like, I mean, I was up all the way. These were wet.
Yeah.
And they were dry by the time we got back to your house.
That's what I don't like, because we were getting ready to go out there, and I was wearing jeans, which is stupid, but I just don't like I'm sweet meat, man. I get ate alive by mosquitoes.
I got ate alive.
You did. You got, I mean, I'm thinking some canned hams got you. But I've got those new tactical pants that are like that are waterproof, that are coming, that are lighter weight. And so
some tactical.
I've kind of gotten on that kick of giving those, like, you know, when you're on Facebook and you see those, you know, like, ads that are like, buy now, there's only 7 left, you know? I think this guy caught a tiny little trout.
He's using a tiny little hook.
And
he just like tied a knot in his whole...
Yeah, he's got a mess. He's got a Bullman rig working right there. But yeah, so I just to have some pants, because I don't like having... Because, like, up along that creek, there is grass that is, like, chest deep already.
Oh, yeah. You're telling me.
Oh, yeah. We weren't even in the thick stuff there. Like, up underneath there, on that creek, like, right along the creek, it's bad. It's real thick. Now, granted, there's a trail that's worn down, thankfully, but you've got that. That's, like, you know, not even waist wide. You know, you're walking on a little goat trail, essentially, and, it's a, he's got another one.
Goat trail,
and it's thick, but man, I'll tell you what, I like that little spot back there. I think those fish I think it's so muddy and it's so difficult to get into that, like, a lot of people fish right there off the road and that's it. and only the hardcore people go any farther back. And so, where we were at, I'm super excited about giving that a go. I think that's gonna be a great little honey hole for us to have. Plus, we saw about 8 ducks today, which is always, a fun adventure.
Some of them city ducks.
Mm-hmm. So, I tell you what, I was thinking about it today. I'm so ready for duck season to happen. I'm excited about the fact that we're going to go talk to Defender Outdoors this weekend and talk to them about shooting, and getting in. Because I'm hoping that this opening season, when my good buddy Jordan is calling in a limited ducks, that I've got a limited ducks hanging on my duck stringer.
Yeah, your game tote needs to be full next time.
Absolutely.
That's how we're probably going to roll next year, too. I'll probably call for you again, opening day.
Well, meet me at the boat ramp, bro. I don't know. I've been working on through turkey season. I got on my turkey call a little bit, but I just keep that duck call.
I just realized, every time we go out, I call for you.
Yeah.
I've been doing your turkey calling.
Uh-huh.
Because you have yet to smack down a turkey.
I'm turkeyless. Yeah. I may try to get out this weekend. I don't know. We've got EarthX with BHA, so it could be.
It's ridiculous, man.
It's a lot.
I agree that help BHA out, but
gotta get that turkey.
You gotta go smack a turkey down. The season's almost closing.
I've got until the 12th. And so I may just have to buck up and go down to my cousin's again and just say, hey, I'm going to go try to get one smacked before the season's over down there and get one in.
Yeah, where we've been going, man, I thought we had them dialed in. We chased one and he was coming in. We got him hung up. We just couldn't get him to close that gap. Tried a few things to get him to close that gap, and he just wouldn't do it. And I was for sure when we went back out there, went in the same area.
Yeah.
And we could not find a sign,
tracks.
No feather, no tracks, no nothing. Nothing would call back.
Everybody I've seen is just man, everything's gone real tight-lipped. Especially on public. They've just been hammered for 2 weeks, 3 weeks now.
Yeah, but where we're at, maybe different things happen during the week, but I have yet to see
a lot of people. I'm with you.
We did see more people, though, because we went out Easter Sunday in the morning for about, from morning till noon. And I saw more people out there, I think, than we saw the first time we went out there.
Yeah.
But we just couldn't get. You're right. Everything did seem very tight-lipped and just not talking back. And that's been me and Grinch's experience. Everywhere we've gone, anywhere, any public land we try to chase turkey on, trying to locate call or shot gobble a turkey up, you just don't hear them.
Yeah.
It's frustrating because, you start second guessing yourself, you start talking to people and reading stuff, and they're like, oh man, just, blow a crow call or do an owl hoot or,
change it up.
Do some stuff and it'll happen. We try and still nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm headed out.
Yeah, what are you doing this weekend?
I'm headed out tonight, actually. It's 11:33.
So
on a Thursday night here at the whole reason I'm over here is because you're kind of on my way out to head to Hagerman again because I got that draw hunt and I'm super stoked. I'm going to go out and try to get me a turkey and at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 3, 4, depending on when I leave here.
Yeah.
I'll be out in the turkey woods at Hagerman. Chasing thunder chickens.
Thunder chickens, man. I'm so jealous. One of these days I'm going to enter that.
You know, I feel really bad. Like, you made me feel very bad because I should have just put you on as a group and just gone. Whitney swears she is not doing my paperwork next year.
Oh, yeah?
Because I don't know if people follow us enough, but, like, last year at this time, I got Hagerman.
You straight up drew.
And, yeah, just straight drew. And, I forgot to enter. And I called my wife because I was at work. I called her and was like, hey, will you send this information in? I need you to do this. And she was like, well, what do I do? And I'm like, well, I've never done this draw, so I don't know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Well, she just, called in for me, did all the legwork for me, which was awesome. And I couldn't ask for a nicer wife at that moment. And she did all of it, sent my stuff in, and I drew. I think I was the number one draw, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were. Mm-hmm.
Number one draw last year. And I did this hunt. It was super cool. And this year came around and I'm not that much of a superstitious kind of person, but for something that is I'm not going to wear the same socks for an entire turkey season or some dumb shit like that. But to have my wife be like, hey, you send this in for me. And lo and behold, there's 25 people that get drawn for this hunt. And I was number 26 because I send you the whole result.
Yeah.
You get a list. And I was 26. And everybody kind of told me, I was like, man, I didn't get draw well, that sucks, but that's how it is. And everybody was like, just hang on. Like, there's going to be someone that doesn't pay or someone that can't go or whatever. And I get an email a little bit later on that says, hey, 3 people didn't go. Send in $50 and
you're in.
You're in. So I threw $50 in the mail real quick.
Yeah, you're like done.
And Whitney was like, you know what? I'm not doing this for you anymore because, it's annoying. How the wife gets. She's like, I'm not going to give you an advantage. Like, if you draw, fine, whatever. I'm cool with it. But I'm not going to help you draw to be leaving for the weekend.
I'm not helping. I'm not aiding in this.
So next year, I'm hoping to put you on the draw and be like, you have to help Abe out.
Yeah.
So you have to do this one.
Abe's never gotten one, so.
Abe's never got one. But it's a super cool hunt. I enjoy it. I don't care. It's not one of those draws I'm scared more people are going to get into because you know what? I got mine.
It is what it is, right?
And I'm hoping to get another one.
Yeah. I'm hoping for some draws this year. Some, love to get some deer draws or something like that, but I would love, I'd take some, I'd really like some duck draws. I want to catch some, I want to get a limit of ducks this year. That's happening. So. What else?
That's your goal?
That's the goal. Yep. That's the goal.
So, I sent you a thing that I think is hilarious.
Yeah, this was funny.
Speaking of what else is going on, which kind of correlates to news. And my wife was the one that found it. And so there was an article about a BBC show, a game show. I guess one of the questions were, what in this list is not vegan? And, there was your normal stuff. I'm trying to look it up real fast while I'm talking at the same time. Your normal things and your
normal run-of-the-mill
stuff. So the question was, we're asked which of the above items were vegan, and it was almonds, avocados, kiwis, butternut squash, and melons. And they were shocked because they said none of them are vegan. And the reason why is because it's the same reason as honey. Because like the hardcore vegans won't eat honey because it uses bees inhumanely to make honey. You basically go in there and rip their home up and take their honey and blah, 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 blah. So, all those things, they can't exist without bees.
Yeah.
And a lot of the...
That's how they're pollinated, right?
And a lot of the big growers track bees in, mobile beekeepers come in, bees in trucks, and use them to pollinate these people's fields. Like, that's
how they do it.
And the funny part was the rest of the article, they actually have a rebuttal from the vegans, from the, there's a vegan society.
Of course there is.
And they disagree with him because they said that, vegans try to avoid as much as possible using unfair practices as much as possible. And they know
where it was basically convenient.
Yeah, so they said that unfortunately it's not always possible. So it's, to me,
it's cool to be a dick as long as it's so doesn't mess up my world.
They even throw in, just in your normal veganness ways, they throw in a little bit more, that they we would welcome any changes made to farming practices that support not using animals suffering. And none of us want animals to suffer.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
But I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just how things work. Like, I'm not even trying to be a dick about it. Like, if we weren't there, the bees are still going to pollinate things. There's still going to be a bear that finds a hive and breaks into it, or squirrel. Yep. There's always something.
Mother Nature will not be denied.
Yeah, there's everything uses it. We just figured out how to use it more in our advantage.
Exactly.
Sorry about your bad luck.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens, man. I just don't think there's any reason that it's like, if you don't want to eat meat, that's fine. I don't care about that, right? But
no, for sure.
Don't, if that's your thing, then cool. But don't act like you're like better than anybody else because you don't eat meat. That's my take on it. Just like I shouldn't act like I'm better than you because I eat meat, right? I'm not any different than anybody else. And if I want to go, if I want to go catch my own food and kill my own food, that doesn't make me any better than the dude who's like, I just want to go to the grocery store and pick it up. I mean, it makes me a little bit better, but that's just my own bias. But I just think that it's disingenuous for somebody to think that they're better than you because of some way that you collect food. It's stupid, I mean, we live in the greatest. I mean, we're spoiled as human beings in our generation, right? We have so much food in our society, so much availability to get things. I mean, granted, there's still people who are hungry. There's still people out there who are suffering, but I mean, you have to look at things as in a larger picture a lot of times. For the most part, there's a way that you can get some food, you know? And there's a lot of places on Earth where that's not possible. You know, you can't. It doesn't matter what you do. You're not getting fed if you can't kill or cook or, you know, kill your own food. You're not eating it. So, that's all I got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that. No, and, you know, we make fun of this kind of stuff, but it's honestly, like, I mean, we've had vegans on this podcast, you know. We have friends that are vegans, and the funny thing about them is they obviously will hang out. Like, we were barbecuing and doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
they gave zero shits about what was going on with that. Like, they didn't give a speech. I've discussed with them just out of curiosity.
Yeah, just like,
and it was just here's my beliefs. Here's this. You know, a lot of it's the factory farming and, you know, stuff like that, and slaughterhouses, and whatever, dude, that's cool.
Which I get.
And they even said, like, you know, if I'm too lazy to go hunting, so this is what I chose.
Yeah.
And, hey, man, more power to you, you know what I mean? But, like, I'm making fun of the people that are the internet-educated vegans that are hot to trot, like
Joe Rogan says, like, every time you meet them, it's like they're holding their own, they're holding their breath. Like, I'm a vegan. Oh, thank God.
I'm glad that finally came up because I was waiting. I was trying to be polite until you brought it up.
Figuring out how to work it in, you know.
I noticed you look a little malnutrition.
Yeah.
Malnourished. I'm a vegan.
I'm a vegan.
Oh, okay. That explains it.
That makes more sense.
But, I mean, the other thing is that, you know, it's people that they have no clue. Like,
they don't even get it. Yeah, exactly. They're doing it because it's going to give you more. You can put that on your social media profile. You know, let's be honest. It's, you know, it's because you can brag to your friends and be like, "Oh, I'm a vegan, man." I don't know. I think it's kind of disingenuous for people who act like they're better than you because they don't eat meat.
Well, it's not even that. Like, it's what I was going to get at is I remember watching a video of some guy, and he harassed this family. I mean, just they were out fishing in a pond that, like, you look at this pond and you're like, this pond was man-made and stocked.
Yeah.
Like, someone brought these fish in.
Yeah. What
they were fishing for, I can't even remember, but I would even go as far as to bet that it was probably something like trout, which is not a native fish at all.
Anywhere.
It's just there.
Yeah.
And this guy is just, like, berating this family. Like,
you're hurting it!
Yeah. Like,
you're hurting it!
How would you like that? Let me stick a hook in your kid's lip and see how you feel about, like, how would you like that? And the dude was being pretty nice. He looked, it's been a while since I've seen this video, but if I remember correctly, he looked like the kind of dude that probably would just snap a dude like this in half.
Yeah,
but he
exactly.
was being nice because his kids were around. He was just asking him calmly to leave.
Like, yeah, just kind of leave us alone, bro.
And finally, this dude, this animals rights dude, calls the cops because they're, like, to prove a point that they're murdering something.
Yeah.
Huh?
I love stories like this.
And the cop shows up, and the dude that's fishing with his family goes, "Look, this is what we're doing. Here's my license.
Here's my license.
My kids doesn't need it. This, that, and the other. We're trying to enjoy this thing." And this guy walked up and did this. And the guy is like, "Yeah, because this, that, and the other, like, animals have rights too, blah, blah, blah.
You need to protect the animals."
And the cop writes the dude a ticket for harassing a fisherman doing a legal activity. It was great. And that guy's look on his face was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, the cop just goes, "That's the law. You can't do that." And I was like, "Yay,
yay,
yay!"
I love stories like that. They're legit the best. They're the best. When somebody who's like just being an asshole gets instant karma for being an asshole.
I think Meat Eater talked about one. I'm way behind on my Meat Eater podcast.
I'm a couple episodes behind too.
No, I'm like a lot behind, like way more.
Oh, yeah, you were like 30 behind.
Ungodly amounts to you.
Yeah, I'm like 2 behind.
But they talked about one where a dude picked a fish up off a dock and threw it back in the water. And then told people to call.
That's an ass beating.
He called out that he saved a fish's life, and they need to call the cops to tell them that he saved a life. They called the cops, and the cops showed up and wrote him a ticket and arrested him for major harassment. And
I just don't understand, like, what kind of world do you live in that you think that's okay, right? If you want to go have a conversation with a guy and go, look, like, I don't think you understand these fish have feelings and they hurt and we shouldn't be doing this to these fish. If that's what you want to do, like,
you're still an asshole, but cool.
All right,
at least you're having a conversation.
Yeah, you're still just having a conversation. So I don't know. I think it's hilarious. It's ridiculous, more than anything,
Yeah, I don't get it.
100. Don't get it. So
look, there's your deep cover.
Oh, now that guy's fishing some deep ass cover, and he's like 9,000 years old.
Oh, that was the one I was talking about, where he popped it in there. Look.
Oh, this is a bow and arrow cast.
Is that what that is?
That's a bow and arrow cast. Yeah. That's what I'm going to probably become is my best friend. Yeah, I think this guy's niffing.
What'd you call him?
He's not a sex addict, don't worry.
Well, I don't know. He's wearing a Penn State hat.
Ugh. Does anybody want any cookies?
See, I rolled that in. I was waiting for it. I was hoping you'd set that up. You put it on a tee, and I knocked it out of the park.
That's what we do around here, buddy. We take care of each other.
He is literally a Penn State fly fisherman.
He's Penn State fly fishing, man.
Yeah, I mean, he really is. Like, I saw his name, and yeah, he is nymphing. He's nymphing the shit out of that.
Oh, he's niffing that kid's brains out.
Look at him.
Oh, he's got it like all.
Yeah, like
he's got it all squared away.
Yeah, yep, there you go.
I don't know if I can do, like, I've seen it done different ways than that. I feel like I would instantly hook that bitch into my hand. Like, I'd just like, ow!
Yeah, but he had the hook dangly.
Oh, he had the hook dangly.
That's why he was holding it that way. That's just showing you.
Oh.
I know you're not listening to it because you were obviously podcasting and trying to like actually.
We're just narrating YouTube videos for our our podcast listeners. While I sit here and
oh man, snagged it, dude. That's some awesome coverage.
Yeah,
like that's what we need. I need that in my life.
Yeah, look at that little brookie. That's a beautiful fish.
Yeah, they are, and
I don't know. I'm thinking about like I love that color. Like, that coloration of that brook trout?
Yeah, because you're going to get tattooed.
I am going to get tattooed. And
so you decide that's what you're getting?
Is the trout.
Is trout. Rainbow? Yeah. Rainbow trout chasing a fly.
But I'm thinking, like, maybe a brook trout, because I really love the color of fish like that. And that's what my brother and I caught in Colorado.
I think what you should do is you should get on your inner thigh, swimming up your leg, and then you need to put the fly on the head.
That ain't happening, bro.
And that way, when it wags around, it's like it's chasing the fly. Right?
That doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense, and I think that you should.
You think that that's the way I should do it, huh?
Yeah. Your wife will appreciate it.
No,
she'll see the comedy in it.
She will not. She will not see the comedy in it. And I will not see the comedy in it. And I guarantee you Drew will not see the comedy in it. Drew will be like, I'm not tattooing your thigh, bro.
He'll tattoo your thigh, for sure.
Oh, I'm sure he would tattoo my thigh.
I don't think he'll tattoo the head.
He probably
He might, actually. He might think it's hilarious.
He might think it's funny and do that.
Just to see if this... Is this bro for reals?
What is this kid doing?
What are you doing with your life? We
Yeah.
went pretty far without getting this off the rails.
Yeah, we might as well just go ahead and go crazy. Screw it, bro. This is our podcast. We can do what we want. You know? I feel like this year is just flying by. You know?
Really?
I feel like we're going to be in... I think it's going to be like...
If you can't keep track, you need to stop tying flies while you're podcasting.
I think it's going to be like dove season before in 2 minutes.
So, that was a very good
Transition
into... We might not have smacked a turkey in the face while we're out last couple weekends. But we did find some fantastic places to go dove hunting.
Yeah, I think
Which is the one thing that I think we've been lacking. And I'm curious, in the area we were at in Tawakoni, how many people around that area would be out there during, like, that's immediately what I think. Like, there's also some spots that I thought would be good maybe for some puddle ducks.
Yes.
Maybe even some geese.
Ooh, I've never done that. I'd like to add that to my repertoire. You know? Some geese.
Would you get one mounted like you did that badass pintail? Man, that thing looks sweet.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Where are you putting that thing?
In our game room. Which is a legit...
In here?
No, in where the foosball table is.
Oh, that's the game room.
Yeah, my wife thinks it's clever that we have a game room, and she's also now giving me permission to go and fill it full of game, which I'm like, oh, sweet. So.
Oh, now I get it.
Now you get it, right? Now it makes sense. Now Abe makes sense with it. Do you use a whip finisher?
Yep, I always do.
I don't. I use my fingers just like this. Works the same way.
Yeah, but that's weird.
Isn't?
Yeah. A whip finisher just works so much better.
How does it work any better than what I just did?
Because you look very confused while you were doing it, and it just seemed.
How did I look confused? I was just doing it while I was staring at your eye.
Yeah, exactly. You got lost in my eyes. Is what happened.
Yeah.
You could have been whip finishing.
What in the fuck did I do? I messed this thing up.
With your life to get hooked up with me as a partner?
Yeah.
That sounded gay as hell.
That did sound gay as hell.
I bet you kiss girls.
I bet you kiss girls with that mouth. That is messed up, bro. I don't know
He's
what.
Backwards. You put your hackle on backwards.
I know.
I kind of like that. I bet that would catch fish. Fantastic. I like those colors. Is that a peacock?
It's like this
body.
It's like a yellow, like fluorescent kind of yellow grizzly.
No, the body.
Oh, it's just Chanel. It's that Chanel I showed you. Yeah, it's
your tail
dyed pearl diamond braid black.
Okay, we're just gonna say I was right with peacock. That sounds fantastic. But I like your you got your marabou tail like probably perfect.
Yeah,
perfect length.
Length of the shank.
I'm talking like I know what I'm talking about.
You've got the verbiage down, bro.
Yeah.
Let me tell you that right now.
And I think the backspun Harold
You lost me.
will work
Off.
perfect.
Off.
Huh?
I don't know I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. Backspun Harold?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You spun it backwards.
I did spin it backwards. And I'm hoping
on purpose? Because
yeah, I was just trying something different. But it'll also... Sean was talking about flies that'll move a bunch of water, so
yeah.
I feel like this'll move a bunch of water as it moves through the
You think that cone will make a moving water effect?
Yeah.
I can see that.
It is spun backwards though. But I like that. It is over-hackled. I believe that's the terminology you're looking for, is over-hackled.
Over-hackled. Hashtag over-hackled.
Hashtag over-hackled.
Hackled.
Yeah. If you're listening to this tomorrow, because this podcast will be coming out tomorrow.
Because we're lazy and we're doing it last minute, which we normally get it out on Thursdays, and we are just now into Friday.
No, it normally comes out on Fridays.
Shows you how much I know about your podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So
we were doing Thursdays for a while.
We were doing Mondays for a while, but then
that was gay because it was Monday.
It was just hard.
Somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Yeah. Plus, it was just kind of like ridiculous for, like, I was trying to. It made it hard for me to get everything out, and I needed
because I rely on you to do pretty much everything for this podcast.
That's okay. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm. I'm just here to make this thing look pretty.
That's what I do. I drink and I know things. Because right now, it's all about
Game of Thrones.
All about Game of Thrones.
I understand that reference.
You did.
Impressed?
I did.
Because I gave up on Game of Thrones.
I don't understand how you could give up on Game of Thrones.
I got bored.
How did you get bored?
What do you mean, how did I get bored?
Like, I don't understand why you got... What was boring about it to you? The storyline was just completely like, eh.
Yeah, it was just like, like bad porno with not as much vagina.
Which is bad porno with too many penises. It's the way it is. It's Game of Thrones.
Too many penises?
Too many penises.
Is that why you watch it?
You see a lot of pain. I don't watch it because of that. I don't get bored by the story.
I live in drama anyways.
So watching drama?
So like watching drama and people backstabbing and talking shit behind people's backs and stuff like that is just called
the last thing you want to do?
The oil industry.
Yeah.
I'll just drop that out there. I don't think I've ever said where I
think that it's... Oh, shit, that's a snake. Fuck that.
Grab it.
F that, bro.
Why?
I am not a fan of snakes.
Neither am I.
I can't stand them. Cannot stand them. I kill them, and I've tried to be like, cool, it's not a bad snake. Oh, God, where did it go?
After that?
Oof, that's biting off a little bit. I feel like that's a cutthroat. I don't know.
Yeah, it's cutthroat.
It looks like it's in a blizzard, first of all.
That's how they roll, dude.
I know.
Anyways, it pumped the stomach.
Oh, yeah.
That poor fish.
What are you eating? Huh.
That thing. And that thing's alive.
Oh, that one made it out, huh? I looked at, I'm gonna order some more flies from Ascent for sure, I think.
That is literally the way to go.
Dude, that was so...
I mean, I super enjoy tying my own flies, but I just enjoy tying flies and having, like, Ascent just be like, oh, you're fishing here?
Here
you go. And it's like, what, like $10-$20 to get the refill? 'Cause
It's-
you went a little over the top
I got the like,
because you got their pack.
yeah, I got their like biologist pack that was I think it was $50 with the. It wasn't too bad. It was $50.
No, that's still good for like
for
an
the-
expert biologist. Like,
packed fly box, but it also came with a fly box,
right?
and it came with like 20 or 30 flies, and so
That many?
yeah, like I think it was like 18 to 25 or something like that, maybe. That's how many flies were in there? I mean, there's a good amount of flies in there. They have some. He threw in some of those those worm flies as well, which I thought were pretty cool.
Which way were they laced?
I don't know. What do you mean? Which way were they laced?
Like, they lay like.
They lay over the top of the hook, up and down over the top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figure out how to make a wacky rig.
Wacky rig
A fly worm.
yeah.
That will catch some fish.
That right there, those crawdads are my freaking my jam right now.
For tying?
I'm addicted to making crawdads. Is that a leech?
Yep.
Oh,
What are we watching?
we're watching some sort of etymology. Look at that little crawfish. Oh my gosh, dude. I could watch stuff on fly fishing all day long. It's fascinating. So, we're going to do a turkey hunt this weekend. I might get out and do a turkey hunt.
You're going to.
I'm going to.
I brought you a map and everything.
Thanks, man.
In fact, my buddy that has been doing more outdoor activities wanted to go to said place, and I let him look at my map and told him I need that map back before the end of work because I'm going to hand this map to Abe so he can go shoot a turkey in the face.
Dude, it'd be so nice to be able to shoot one. I'll have to go look and I'll have to figure out what we're going to do for EarthX on Sunday. Maybe I can get out for the afternoon or something. I definitely want to go try to get I definitely want to go try to fish tomorrow. Because that's my jam right now. Is chasing fish. It's hard because
You need to wait.
I know, but I don't.
Tomorrow you for sure need to go chase some fish, but then like you need to figure out a way to go turkey hunting for a little bit before you go to SpaceX.
Yeah. Did you say SpaceX?
Uh-huh.
You are. I love you. Let me just say that. I'm trying to get the dates here for this. Yeah, so EarthX is going to be fun. There's a lot of, speaking of vegans, Greenpeace was there last year.
PETA was there too.
PETA was there. Thankfully, EarthX lumps all of us murderers together so that we can all kind of be close to each other. So we were right next to the Dallas Safari Club and Park City's Quail. I think we're sharing a booth with Tailwaters this year.
Are you?
Yeah, I think they've got an inside and an outside booth, and we're going to share with Tailwaters. It's going to be fun.
You gonna hang out with Sean?
I'm going to hang out with Sean. Yeah, Sean and the boys from and the other boys from Tailwaters.
I want to hang out with Sean.
I like hanging out with Sean. I hit
You
up
should
Sean.
take your fly rod and make him teach you to.
He's gonna
cast
do.
inside.
They're actually doing they've got a casting pond set up, I believe, and they are going to be doing casting demos, free casting demos to kids. So
you get on your knees and.
I'm a child, Sean. Do you think that'd be weird?
You're a child with a beer.
I'm a child, Sean. Teach me how to fish. He'd be like, okay, you are a child.
True story, bro.
True story. So,
I think I'm going to take this headset off and drive to Hagerman.
you're going to drive to Hagerman?
Yeah, it's already that time.
Oh my god. Well, this is about as pre-hunt as you can get then, and I'm glad that you are going to do that, and please shoot something in the face. I'm going to try to load that John boat in and out of my truck tomorrow by myself.
I got you minnows.
You did. But I'm not going to use them. I may use them. I may take that rod, throw a bobber out there, and let it sit while I try to catch some stuff on the fly.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well give up now.
Might as well not even do it.
Yeah.
Why even try?
Yeah, if you wanted to do that, I could have brought you one of Braley's Barbie rods.
Just Barbie rod it up.
Uh-huh.
Probably catch a bunch of fish with that thing.
I've seen some giants pulled in on those.
Dude, I'm sure.
The old Zebcos.
I've caught probably my biggest fish on Zebcos. You know? That's the way to go if you're a newbie.
All the normal jargon.
Yeah, all that.
Are we for that? So
I believe tickets went on sale today for Full Draw in San Antonio.
Really?
Yeah, I think you can go out to...
That's at Leading Edge, right?
It is going to be at Leading Edge.
Dude, those guys are badass.
Sean and Cody are the shit.
Yeah.
They're legit the shit. They're awesome. We're looking forward to doing event there, and then we're also at Texas Archery for our first major event in Houston, which will take place in June.
In early May, they're doing back at like San Antonio area. They're doing the Total Archery Challenge is coming.
Yeah, that will be here as well, and I think they're gonna auction off they're gonna raffle off an Orion cooler.
Oh man,
yeah.
There's a lot of cool coolers out there, and Orion's definitely at the top of that dummy.
Yeah, they're definitely one up there that's awesome. I'm looking at I want to get one of those soft-sided coolers, like those little, you know how you and Grinch have, but I've seen some at Buc-ee's that are like a Yukon outfitter.
Yeah, I saw they're going with Yukon and getting rid of Arctic.
Dude, Yukon, they have some like their 110 quart cooler is like it's like $300. It's like stupid cheap for a roto molded cooler with wheels on it.
For how much?
I think it's like $300, $250.
What size?
110 quart.
Oh, okay.
You know, but they've got the little 30 can, you know, soft sideds for like $60,
I thought
$70.
it was super hilarious. Like Grinch has that 110 Arctic, and he's always been like, I don't even like. How many times we gotta fill this thing up? Like, so hard to fill this thing up because it's so big. And he went and shot that nail guy, and he was like, "The nail guy won't fit in my cooler."
The nail guy won't fit. Plus, he had to like take meat out of the cooler, put the cooler in his truck, then put the meat back in the cooler. Then get home, unload the cooler from the meat from the meat from the cooler, then pull the cooler out of the truck, and then he cut up a bunch of meat.
Yeah, he's still cutting up meat.
That's what he was doing tonight. He was like, "I've got to cut up a Neil Guy quarter." He did cheat for the first time, and he took some to Kubi's.
That's actually legitimate though. Kubi's is amazing.
It was like stupid cheap, and he was like, "Man, it was so easy." Because I just dropped it off, and it's like, I think he just did some front shoulders.
Yeah.
And it's like, make this into sausage. Go.
They have really good summer sausage.
Yeah.
They have really good sausage, but they do a lot of like the like brats.
Yeah.
Brats.
Well, it's been a couple years since I made sausage. And
what we need to make is some tamales.
Yes. Tamales are labor intensive, bro. So
we keep on going.
We could keep talking here, but we appreciate everybody listening. Hopefully you're mowing your lawn and you're just listening to us ramble.
Hopefully I put you to sleep while...
Exactly. Or you're listening as you can go to sleep.
But when you're done listening, you should totally go over to stormwatercreek.com if you did not get this off of the website.
Yeah.
Go to the Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Give us a like.
At Stormwater Creek.
Follow us on those social medias.
Cool content coming out all the
time. Sure. And then, rate us. Subscribe to this hoe.
Yeah. Find out when we have new episodes coming out. We have new episodes coming out all the time. Like JT Larkin said, if you want constant contact, we're your guys. Constant content, we're your guys. Contact. Constant content or contact. You know, we turn out podcasts about it weekly.
Stupid movie.
Contact?
Yeah.
Is that with Jodie Foster?
Yeah, such a lame ending. Anyways, yeah, we're pretty constant. A lot more than JT.
That's JT. Sure.
Yeah, JT.
I think he's in New Zealand right now, right? Or is he back from New Zealand?
I don't think he's gone yet. I thought it was May.
Oh, yeah, he may be going in May. That's right.
All I know is super jelly.
I'm super jealous.
I guess what the cool kids say.
Yeah, I do too.
Or is that not cool anymore?
I don't know. I don't hang around schools, bro. It's weird if I do that.
Yeah, the cops won't let me.
Cue the music. Thanks for listening, guys.